Hey everyone, and welcome back to Celebs from Inside Out. The last 4 videos, I explained to you Chris Evans's human design chart. And what came to my mind after that was, I love the relation between siblings. I have a twin brother myself. So I thought, why are we not gonna just take Scott Evans as the next one in here? And I love this because he's a manifesting generator, as you're going to find out today. This is one of my dogs. What do you want? Can I just continue, please? Oh my God, she just needs to be in the video. I won't show her now. And as such, he should, in my opinion, and you will find out from the charts, he would have a completely different role in their relationship if he had been the older brother. Anyways, you will find his chart in this video and in the next 2 ones. Today, I'm going to be talking about the type, the authority, and his profile, which is 6-2. If you haven't checked your profile yet, your human design chart, go get it. I put down below a link where you can access it, and just go get it and see what do you have in your profile, what's your type, and where do Scott's chart resemble yours, so you can find out a lot about yourself. I will try to make my content, I always do that, I always try to make my content as coaching content, so you can take away many things if you share the same type, the same profile, the same strategy. So let's just get started, shall we? I'm going to show you first his type. His type is manifesting generator. As you may be remember that Chris Evans, his brother, is a manifester. And the manifesting generator is kind of a mixture between the manifester and the generator. You guessed it already. So Scott, if you're watching, listening, you should get ready to be mind blown. So Scott, as a manifesting generator in human design, you are an incredible powerhouse that really needs to learn developing patience before making decisions in order to not start 1,000 things and not finishing a single one and then throwing it all away because you're frustrated with yourself. That's basically it. Next. No, just kidding. MGs, like I'm going to use the short form MG for manifesting generator, make about 33% of the world's population. So you've got a very special gut feeling that we call the moment of truth. And this is exactly what you need to wait for until you make decisions. After you made a decision, you can initiate. You can just start projects, give yourself to the world, which is actually a manifestor strategy, not yours. And then things will work out. If you don't follow this, you're going to run into the same walls again and again and again. Your motto, if you had one, it would probably be, I react and I wait for my moment of truth, and then I act, or I spontaneously don't act. If you just have ideas and you have thousands of them running through your brain in a pace that hardly anyone can follow who is not an MG themselves. And if you try to manifest them and materialize them in this world without waiting for your moment of truth, you will run against said walls. In my readings for you, I will always come back to exactly this moment, to exactly how you can find these moments of truth, because you're kind of a manifester in the waiting, unlike your brother, who's a manifester. And we manifestors, I'm one too, we make only about 8% of humanity. So whatever we initiate in this world will probably work out easily, which can be a constant source of frustration for our siblings. We have other flaws that we challenge though. Your strategy, Scott, is reacting to impulses from the outside after you waited for your moment of truth. Your defined sacral center gives you an immediate response to any impulse. So whenever you see anything or hear something, you immediately know whether this is true for you or it's not. Whether this project should be started or not. Whether this idea is worth following or thinking about or not. But until it manifests, you're in the waiting. And during that time, it's so important for you to take baby steps, small acting, and follow your gut throughout these small actions to find out whether you're on the right path or not. The deep yes or no in these moments is your moment of truth. And that can also be a very, very, it can be a noise, something like, or, or it can be, or, So whenever you have, if something comes to you like an idea or what am I going to eat today, and somebody suggests, what about fries? You will immediately know, or it might be a feeling that you just widen or you close. That's what I mean by gut feeling. That's your sacral center giving you the answer. This becomes problematic whenever other people are involved. I'll give you a quick example. You get invited to a party, and in the moment your friends call you, you get the clear, yes. You confirm to come that evening because you do have a yes from your gut. The later the afternoon gets, the less this yes is existent. And by the time you should get ready, you lost your yes, and it's a no. That is the moment of truth. And here it's crucial for you to follow this instinct, as it already knows whether it's worth and good for you to go or not. Have the courage to cancel, explain how you feel, go into communication. People will always appreciate your honesty way more than you making up excuses or just not showing up. You're very likely to step over and ignore your own boundaries in order to people please, because, and this is a big must learn for you in order to find your bliss and fulfillment, which is your higher self theme. It's also kind of your compass. For your brother, it's the feeling of peace. Manifestors' higher self theme is peace, and generators and manifesting generators' higher self theme is bliss and fulfillment. If your sacral yes comes and it's outliving the time between the answer and the event, you will have the speed of a manifestor bringing things into life. You accelerate from 0 to 100 in 4 seconds, and unlike pure generators, you can stop whenever you like. You as an MG should never be forced to finish the projects you started. Tell your mom. Your medicine lies in the creativeness and the ideas that you have, and it also lies in like differentiating between the things that are worth for you to pursue or not. You might often have experienced the moment when your older siblings have suggested doing or creating something, and you were the one saying, but I think we shouldn't, not because it wasn't allowed or dangerous, but because your sacral answer was yes, and then when it took place, it kind of turned into a no. Your moment of truth, but explain that to anyone, right? This can annoy people very much, as they somehow may feel like you're not reliable. And if we're not judging this, then this is just you. Surround yourself with people who love you for this, not despite of this, okay? Because you deserve them so much. You as a manifesting generator can just never seem to hold your feet still. There's always something to do, something to say. You may have learned through conditioning to let the olders or the wiser ones talk, but that's not actually your design. And to this day, one of your biggest challenges is to keep your ideas and thoughts to yourself and only speak when asked, because you just know this is not what you came for. Don't get me wrong. This is, I mean, when we grow up as the younger sibling, then naturally we're going to put the older ones. I mean, they are like our idol. They are always right. They are more experienced. They know what they're talking about. While as we're small, like we're kids, we don't know anything. We just follow. And this is not the design you came with. So you gain and you live your power by just being your chaotic, fidgeting self and enjoying that. You can, by the way, also learn how to enjoy waiting, which is one of your biggest punishments. There is a saying about MG kids that I just love. I don't know when I heard that, but I thought like, yeah, this is exactly it. If you lost your MG kid, just follow the trace of the chaos and you will find it at the end of it. I hope your parents, Scott, didn't reprehend you for your chaos, as you really have no chance of not producing it, and this is not your fault. My best friend is an MG. She's kind of my end boss. Me as a manifestor, I like to be grounded until I release my energies in kind of an explosion and just do something in a pace that no one, not even MGs, can follow. Me as a manifestor, also your brother Chris as a manifestor, we may take your breaths away when we start something and also wake your jealousy because you constantly feel like generating and manifesting, doing things, creating things is an exhausting thing for you. You are the ones who love to be tired by the end of the day, having spent your energies, and we manifestors, we don't. We should also go to bed before we're dead tired. If we don't follow this strategy, the result is going to be insomnia. So everything to us manifestors, for everybody else, like you, Scott, everything just seems to come naturally and easy to us, and that can drive MGs crazy. Your pace through life, though, is unbelievable. You're the squirrels under the animals. Only that you're doing like 10 things at a time, not one, because why should you decide what to do now? You fall in love very quickly, very passionately and dramatically, which may, after some trial and error, lead to you giving up the idea of never-ending love. The strategy here is to react and to wait, not to initiate, as you're not manifestors. Remember, it's better to aim for small actions and steps and wait for the moment of truth that you have. I don't, but you do, rather than just diving deep into relationships or friendships too quickly and then being disappointed. The generator in you loves to dedicate himself to projects, very opposite to your brother, Chris, as a rather skittish person. While this causes a lot of stress for the manifestor in you, because you have that in you too. You like to conquer new territories, make new experiences. You need to build your life upon the possibility of constantly being able to enjoy your freedom and your flexibility in choosing what you wish to work in and with. And that you did in a perfect way by being an actor. Your lower self theme is frustration. If you don't follow your strategy, reacting and waiting for the moment of truth, you will experience frustration, which can even cause you to just set everything on fire or throw it all away. Unlike Chris, whose theme is anger, you just get frustrated and rather silent, if you're not screaming around, rather silent, turn inside yourself and make your own decisions, which is also not a good way. Yelling at people is not a good way, but becoming silent is also not a good way. Just remember, the most important thing, more like the most important moment for you is the time between you reacting, a generator, with a yes or a no to an impulse, to a thought, to a picture, to an invitation, and the actual event coming. This is the green light or the red light, and please stick to your moment of truth. People, if you do it, like if you follow that, people can rely on you. It just takes a bit of time until then. I listed up some other manifesting generators because I think in all of these people, you will find like high performance in combination with stamina, which we manifestors don't have, and a certain initial not knowing about what is right or wrong for them. And that would be Elton John, Britney Spears, George Lucas, who also shares your profile, by the way, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Amy Winehouse. So let's continue with your profile, Scott. Your profile are the two numbers in your chart. If we see your life as a piece of drama in theater, then our profile would be the role we play. Could also be described as the way our character works. Scott, you have the profile 6-2, which is one of 12 possible combinations. The first number, the 6 in your case, always describes the conscious role we have in life. Of this, you are aware and you consciously act like it. And the second number is the unconscious behavior. These things just repeatedly seem to happen, or people describe us as being that, but we can't backtrack it unless we make it conscious, which I am about to. So, Scott, your profile is a 6-2. I love 6-2s, can I say that? You guys living your power and your higher self are the born authorities. What's up with my nose? It's tickling. Doing this all along now. Where you say coffee's gonna help. Because, guys, coffee helps with everything. You 6-2s are the born role models. While interesting as it is as a younger sibling, you probably never got to live that out during your younger years. It would have been a massive support for Chris, by the way, if you had been living your rock solid fundamentals, which he has always been looking for, and finding anxiety in not finding it. And it would have been a big difference if you had been the older brother, I think. I can't just guess about that, but I love how complex this is. Even though you don't show it in public, as you enjoy, I think you enjoy your role of the younger, yet more handsome brother. Yes, I just said that. I think in your private relationship, like between you and Chris, it does show often how you support him in a very stable way, mostly with your constant energy that he does not have. You're just one of those people who can see what needs to happen, which puzzle pieces are missing, and what's right to do. And this is a gift that you maybe not have found to its complete extent yet. You may be finding yourself. Where was I? I just had to stop. Oh yeah, you may be finding yourself like, as an answer to this, micromanaging your surroundings, as you always tend to know what's next, and that is a problem and can cause conflicts. The only thing you love to delegate is your chaos to a housekeeper, which I can totally relate to. But they have to be competent and do it exactly the way you need it to be done. Throughout your life, you will be finding yourself thirsting for new fields of interest and absorb information, which you can spend days on. Your surroundings sees you as a constant source of common knowledge and common sense. You may be co-frustrated with others why they don't, people who don't get their life in order, as you see the greater coherence, and yet you feel unable to change the situation because, come on, everybody has a right to their own unhappiness, right? So you have a constant source of optimism towards life, no matter how often you stumble and fall, unlike your brother. Resilience has been in you since the day of your birth. And I think that's so interesting between the both of you, because Chris has to fight for developing these skills. He's a 3, an unconscious 3, and he just has to have the experience and struggle with it for developing the skills of resilience. And you are just born with them. Your way of articulating is always precise, clear, and well considered. you have the ability that I love and envy to take kind of a meta perspective. Did you say meta perspective as well? Like looking at something from above, as soon as drama occurs, in order to not get lost in it, because you can see the truth in it, which makes you the best advisor ever. Unless the drama involves you, then you're going to be on your emotional wave and you're going to be totally lost, which I'm going to be talking about later. If the drama is not about you, you're the best advisor because you don't offer solutions, you offer perspectives. And of these things, you are aware. Something that I gotta say is that the unconscious too is that you sometimes don't seem to use your whole potential. Sometimes you may seem distanced until you know whether something is worth it or not. You know that when you start something, you will fire away for it. So you're waiting, unconsciously using a strategy, for the moment of truth in which you decide. You have the tendency to overreach with things, balancing too many projects or people in your life. And thus you have found a good way of differentiating where to put your energy, which I think you have, or maybe you're still struggling with it. If this has happened 1 or 2 times in your life, the 6-2 might easily not want to save the world anymore, but rather be an assistant to someone who does, or just stand in the shadow of someone who does. Again, there, you kind of switched roles. This is not your design. Other people like me and your brother with a 1-3, yes, Chris is a 1-3 as well, like I am, we are way worse in this job as we don't have this clear overview that you have. We are here for the fundament, like for the basis, and you're here for the perspective. We need each other so bad. So profile 6-2 doesn't mind being on her own. I use the generic feminine because why not? We enjoy the calm of our house, the presence of our pets, just as much as being with others. And now comes the part that I love most about you 6s. Your life is kind of parted into 3 halves. The time between 0 and 18 years, between 18 and 30 years, and then from 50 on. So from the time about like 18 years, your life is the life of a 3. You need to learn by trial and error. You will always want to serve for your tribe too. You need to find out how life works by making the experience. You can't just model, learn, or take something that someone says to you as the truth. You just have to find out yourself, which gives you broken bones and burnt skin and speeding tickets. In my case, yeah, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you want to know more about the living as a 3, check out the profile reading of your brother if you like, as he's a 1-3. From 18 onwards to 30, you start engaging yourself in the world, like starting to take over responsibilities and finding yourself in your own world. And from the age of 30 onwards, you slowly start to have you have tried enough in your life. You have developed a picture of the world that suits you. Your unlimited enthusiasm is calming down, and you learn to deal with the pain of realizing that most people in this world cannot meet you on your level. Here comes a crucial point where you either decide to draw back and live your life in this pain, or you decide to take your seat in your higher self. On top of the world, yeah, I like that picture, on top of the world, giving your abilities of overviewing and your wisdom to the world. So, what choice are you going to make? Be prepared, as from 50 on, you will be called for your highest tasks in life. You will find that life around you recognizes and appreciates you in being a role model, and they can put you into positions with high impact and with high power. And with your deep love for the easiness and the fun of life, you have the potential to bring so much light into a dark world and just to cheer everyone up, everyone that's around you, just by just being present, and also by being a role model, of which some parts of you, I think, always knew that you were. Relationships with you, Scott, have something soothing and calming for your partner. With you by their side, people feel like being able to solve every possible occurring problem. You will always find admiration in people who get to know you, whereas you always fear that you will never find the one. That one soulmate that understands you in every aspect. You as a 6-2 will always want to keep your relationships interesting, fresh and exciting, as your tolerance towards boredom is not very high. What you really look for is someone to climb the mountain with you, someone to expand your horizon and seeing the beauty in you and in life itself, because you do see it. And as soon as you found this person, you can be really, really perfectionist in finding them. You recognize your soulmate and this relationship will be truly fulfilled. You should look, just a quick tip, you should look for another 6-2 or a 3-5 for the perfect match. Solid friendships, though, can be built with 2-4, 4-6, or 6-3. So, coming to your authority. Authority is, until this day, I think, a strange word. It's just, the authority is, it describes the way you should make decisions. Your authority, Scott, is emotional, meaning you have a lot of emotions. Didn't see that coming. No. Listen, most people have an emotional authority. You share an emotional authority with me and also with your brother. And I mean, as your whole family is kind of into musical and drama and into the emotional stuff, they will probably have one too. So we are about 50% of the world's population that feel so deeply and that are oftentimes overwhelmed by our own feelings. With an emotional authority, we soon learn that our emotional wave, being in it, we can hurt people so bad to protect ourselves, be it friends or lovers or parents or whoever, postman, that we don't recognize ourselves afterwards. In that moment, it feels absolutely true and real, but it doesn't anymore after the wave went by. How could I have become this person? How could I have thought that what I said to him or her was my truth? Like, I know that yesterday I felt exactly this and it felt so, it was so urgent to let that person know what I was feeling because I couldn't take it. And today I'm like, how the fuck could I have thought that this is accurate to say or do whatever? Number one reason to fuck up relationships, by the way. I have, I'm counting in that. So, where am I? Yes, these emotional waves give us this superpower to connect to life itself so deeply and make us great actors, by the way, so deeply that we can find endless beauty in nature and the smallest things, in dogs, in people, in moments. This makes us very deep beings that sometimes seem like aliens to others who don't share this authority. On this emotional wave that we experience in drama mostly, in romantic love, and this drama, a big part of us enjoys it so much as it's highly emotional and we feel so much, and also our body is highly addicted to the biochemical drama in our heads. So we feel like everything that's happening in us is true and we need to tell the others right now, which we should not do. I mean it. Don't do it. What feels absolutely true during these waves never is true. Wait for it to go by. and act out and draw conclusions if needed from your emotional clarity. That's so important. Oftentimes, people cannot follow us into these deep modes, and we realize it and conclude that something must be wrong with us, that we apparently are not able to lead happy and deeply connected relationships because something is wrong with us. This emotional wave, when it shows up as negative, and that I put into quotes because I'm not a fan of judging feelings as positive or negative. So like the gray emotional wave, it will make the whole world look black. That's when we enjoy melancholy in music, in art, in company, crying, screaming, self-pitying. I love it. You probably do too. However we like. We have an intense way of deeply going to these emotions and enjoying the misery if we learned and if it was okay for our parents, if we were not conditioned in another way, which happens easily. And this is something that people without an emotional authority will never understand, and they can easily get hurt by that. And hurt people, mostly us. And we try to go into self-defense, not realizing what's happening there. I wish someone had told me this like so much earlier. If the emotional wave is positive, the whole world seems pink. Everything is wonderful. It's like being freshly in love all over. And you need to realize, this is really important, I see ourselves as victims of this emotional wave. And the best way to cope with it is meditation or sleep. Not having access to this knowledge or these tools, though, we can fuck up relationships pretty bad by hurting the ones we love while we think we are being misunderstood, or people expect us to change for them, be less, feel less. Don't come over with the stuff, with the chaos inside us. And if we feel stuck like that and there's no change even after talking about it, we burn down the house. See how hard my face gets when I say that? Wow. Anyways, just a quick tip for all of you with an emotional authority. When being on an emotional wave, enjoy it or go to sleep. Enjoy it alone, I should have said, or with people with other emotional authorities, such as your bro, he will share that. Or just go to sleep. Don't make decisions, just go to sleep. We are not wrong. We're just special, and it's so important that through this we learn to not mistrust ourselves in relationship to others, and we tend to try to protect them from a deep connection to us because we fear we will hurt them by not being under control, because we feel like we can't control ourselves, which is awful. Most people with an emotional authority don't trust themselves because at some point in their life they have learned that they become different people. They change somehow and they can't explain afterwards what happened. Yeah, this is what cuts us deepest, like to have such a big and open and pure heart and all these emotions, and yet not allowing ourselves to really connect because we fear that we're going to be too much and people won't get us. And that is the most painful feeling. I'm sure you really know what I'm talking about. Time to bring some light, right? Whenever I talk about emotional authority, I'm just so, my emotional authority just draws me in and makes me so passionate about telling all of you, like half of the population of this planet, that we are right the way we are, we're not wrong, and we deserve deep connection too. At the same time, the deep wish of someone coping with that, supporting it, just holding the space for us, and taking this as an advantage rather than a disadvantage, is growing with every relationship where we can't find this. Frustration grows and we get more and more disappointed. I was gonna talk about light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just gonna go on. If we do find a match that we deeply connect with, this is not someone who understands us and wants us despite all that we are, despite our emotions, but because who we are And because we love our emotions and we want to live them, we love bathing in sadness, happiness, excitement, adventure, love, and connection. Everyone with an emotional authority just went, yes, we do, because we do. And we ourselves, we're always able to rise these feelings out of nowhere. Just give us a good deep quote, like a piece of good music. We are the ones dancing around our houses when nobody watches. Sometimes people do watch, still doing it. And we need other people to make us feel this because it feels true. And we want to share this depth with our beloved people. This is how we experience life. And if this is not happening through our partner, like if they tell us to like be less, shut down a bit, if they disengage when we go into our emotions, we can barely take it. Of course, this is mostly happening in an unconscious setting, but maybe you do have these aha moments that I had when I found out about my design and scanned my past relationships for this. And it was literally to be found in any relationship. And fun fact, the last 3 men I dated did not have an emotional authority. And I kind of asked myself, why did I attract them? And I think this huge pain in me, this huge being too much, feeling too much, not being followed into my deep states by other people, I think this deep pain attracted that because my C pile, see, nobody's able to follow you. See, you're wrong. See, you're hurting people. That's my C pile. Is so big by now that I'm like, I just have to repeat this story, but not anymore because now I'm aware of it. But I think that's kind of why am I talking about my last relationship? Sorry for that. Today, me with an emotional authority, still talking about me, I am an enthusiastic crier. God, I love crying. That's why I love your movies. I'm like, I'm easily touched by people with an emotional authority. Like they go deep under my skin right away. And I'm moved by too many things immediately. I cry out of nowhere. It's like, I did not because I was born like that. I was born like this, but I didn't allow myself to be like this for 30 years. It's like, I thought that I had to be strong, and being strong in this world means not to let anything come close to you and hurt you, not being vulnerable, coping with everything, being cool with everything, fight through everything, being successful independently in a mad world, never show weakness. I'm a strong woman that doesn't need anyone. Yeah, right. Right. That works out for relationships. If you're going to be the one saying, I don't need anyone, which is true. I'm a manifester. I don't need anyone, but I like to be with people. This made me very sick, by the way. Oh, I have another Evans brother in this. The reason why I started with Chris Evans and now Scott Evans is because I'm also like a bit drawn to you, connected, can say that. I'm diagnosed with Evans syndrome. I don't know if you know that. It's not as funny as it sounds. It's like I have anticorps against red blood cells. So these anticorps destroy my blood and I bleed out internally, which is not fun. Died twice, long story short, died twice. Nobody wants to have Evans syndrome, but that's why I just got kind of connected with you too. Interesting piece of trivia. Okay. I think it's a life lesson for us to realize all of the aspects of our design. And it's a life lesson for us to care well for ourselves and for others. And if we are aware of how our emotional waves work, we can just let people know how we work. And in my emotional wave, just let me scream and cry and feel all the stuff running through me. I said fuck before I can say shit now. I can just let me just feel it and then let me sleep in your arms for 30 minutes and I'll be just fine. Emotional clarity coming by. It's that easy. And I wish someone had told me before I fucked up my engagement and every relationship after that by being, don't know, too strong, too emotional, too expecting high standards. I expect them from everyone, mostly from myself. Then shutting down as a coping mechanism because my needs were not being met, disengaging, quitting, leaving, being frustrated, being angry. Oh God. So just keep in mind, everyone with an emotional authority, don't make decisions from your emotional waves. Be it the pink one or the gray one, make decisions from an emotional clarity. So, Scott, I hope you had one or two moments, or one or two, how does she know that moments. That's human design. It's magic. If you love to chat about your design, just drop me a message. There's going to be 2 more videos about your centers and about your gates and channels, which are going to be like, the first video is always like kind of superficial. Like it's the, yeah, it's the most important things that everybody see in your life. The gates and channels and centers are something else. So I hope you stick with me. Find yourself in the videos. I hope all of you who are not Scott Evans enjoyed it. I hope you took away some good pieces of advice, mostly if you're a manifesting generator or a 6-2 if you have an emotional authority. I hope I served you. This is my profile. I'm a 3. I serve my tribe. So everyone, have like the greatest day ever. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.